Hello and welcome to the Real Esteem Podcast. This is the Parenting on Friday edition, March the 6th, 2020. Today we're going to talk about how to teach your kids about grace. Stay tuned. One of the greatest things we can do is teach our kids what grace is and give them the opportunity to understand and to utilize grace in their life. Giving someone grace is an awesome thing because you take the pressure off of yourself being concerned about what they did, and you just relieve them of whatever. You give them grace. You just let them have it. Ephesians 2:8 through 9, it says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith." So it was the grace of God that we are saved. We believed and He saved us. Now He gave us the grace to be saved. This is not our own doing. It is the gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one can boast. We cannot take any credit for becoming saved. There's no way you did enough work, good deeds, caring and loving about people to deserve to be saved. God gave us grace so that we could be saved, so that no one can boast. There's a lot of other religions that have works in place that result in your salvation. No, we are saved, and that's why we work. Romans 6:14 says, "For sin will have no dominion over you, since you are not under the law, but under grace." So if God puts us under grace, why can we not give a little grace to those who mistreat us? You know, they may not follow the rules or whatever the situation is. Give them some grace and see what happens. A lot of times people realize that they don't deserve what you're giving them. And it's amazing to them that someone would do that for them when they've done such negative things to them. It actually, if anyone has a true heart, it actually pricks their heart. We need to teach our kids this because it's a shift in society that needs to be seen. People need to see someone giving grace to someone as opposed to reciprocating revenge or, one-upping someone. You did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you. And we go back and forth, and it's a continuous cycle that never gets broken until someone gives someone grace. So if you go ahead and give someone grace in the beginning, you don't have to go through those cycles. I think people love the challenge of going through a revenge cycle, but really you're wasting a lot of time when you could probably end up with a better relationship with that person, or you can get that stuff off of your chest because you just give somebody grace. James 4:6 says, He gives more grace, but He gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. When you get in these revenge cycles, you are being proud. You are trying to solve an issue by yourself. You are not allowing God any room to do what He needs to do, because God wants to save you and deliver you and help change you, but He also wants to change the other person that you're dealing with. So when you go through a revenge cycle, both of you are being proud and no one's giving God an opportunity to help them. Somebody's got to give grace. God only gives grace to the humble. So if you're being proud, you're not going to receive His grace. Spontaneous gift from God is a generous, free, totally unexpected, and undeserved gift. It takes the form of divine favor, love, clemency, a share in the divine life of God. The grace that God gives us opens doors for us. It changes the structure of our life. It can change the direction of your life. It can actually, you can be headed on a path that's going to kill you, and by the grace of God, He can redirect you in a path that has you in the totally opposite spectrum of where you were going. But it takes you going through circumstances and realizing that God's given you grace to get it together, or to get it right, or to come out of a circumstance. He's giving you opportunities. It's almost like always giving you a hand when you need it, even though you don't deserve it. A lot of people will allow you to stay down. The story of the different priests that came on the road to Samaria, and the Samaritan there was a man that had been robbed and beaten. The Samaritan stopped while all these other people kept walking past them. The Samaritan took him in, put him in a hotel, and paid for future things that he may need. He gave him grace. He looked upon him in a loving and kind way and gave him a second chance. I'm sure that changed his life, and I'm sure it affected him in a way to see there were so many religious people that came by, but none of them helped him. The Samaritan came by, which nobody would have expected, and he was the one that helped him. God does stuff like that. He really does give grace to those who need it. And if you will look in your own life, you'll see I can teach my kids this and they'll have favor on their life, because God gives grace to the humble. I hope you got something out of this today. Be blessed. Grace and peace.